Hey guys, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to focus on the Tengu, a race of bipedal avian humanoids. What we know about this race is a little bit limited. Although they have existed in the franchise since the first game, there wasn't a huge amount of lore available until the second expansion of that, and then not much more until Guild Wars Beyond. In ancient history, the Tengu are said to have lived throughout the world, although only the names of 5 clans throughout Tyria and Cantha are known. These are the Angchu, Avakara, Karomi, Quetzal, and Sensali. Most of the known history of this race begins with their contact with the humans on the Canthan continent. Bear in mind all of this until stated otherwise occurred on that continent. After Shiro Tagachi was killed and the Jade Wind released, humanity had to settle on Xingje Island at an increased rate. This caused the Sensali to massacre an entire human village and, according to rumour, eat the corpses. War between the humans and the Angchu Tengu was for a time narrowly avoided thanks to the Canthan Emperor's personal ambassador and a wise level-headed Angchu chieftain. However, it was not possible to prevent the Sensali Tengu from attacking, which in turn caused a hatred between these two tribes that was only surpassed by their hatred of the mountain Yeti. When further human settlement of the island exposed some Angchu hatchlings to foreign diseases, these Tengu were forced to kill their own young, and unsurprisingly, they too then joined the fight against the humans. These wars became known as the Tengu Wars, and would rage on for almost 2 centuries. It was not until early in the reign of Emperor Kisu that peace looked like it could be achieved. The Emperor's half-brother and master of the Xingje Monastery, Togo of Cantha, was called to the estate of War Minister Wona for a peace summit. The leaders of the Angchu and Sensali, among them 3 prominent Tengus, Talon Silverwing, Gull Hookbeak and Swift Honorclaw, were also in attendance. However, the summit was a trap intended to kill Togo and pin the blame on the Tengu, creating a pretext for genocide. Togo and Talon Silverwing managed to fight their way out, and War Minister Wona was killed in the process. Unfortunately, the damage to the human-Sensali relations was permanent. Many years later, in 1071 AE, a formal peace with the Angchu was finally reached, bringing an official end to the Tengu Wars. This peace was commemorated annually as the Day of the Tengu. This is at least whilst it actually lasted. Not long after all of this, in the year 1080 AE, the Empire of the Dragon experienced a surge of nationalism in the wake of the return of Shiro the Betrayer and the plague that he brought with him. At this point in time, a new ministry was created, the Ministry of Purity, after they had succeeded in defeating the Amphar and Jade Brotherhood street gangs. This newly formed ministry turned their sights onto the Tengu. This conflict soon spilled over to Xingje, and peace finally broke down when the ministry guards witnessed an Angchu defending Sumi village against a Sensali attack. The guards, in error, thought that he was working with the Sensali and killed him. In 1127 AE, Emperor Kisu's successor finished what the ministry had started, and after annexing the 2 vassal states, the Kurziks and Luxons, bringing them back into the empire, he began a campaign to drive out the non-human races. Against the entire might of the Cantha military, the Tengu had no choice but to flee north to Tyria and Alona. The next we hear of the Tengu is when Zaitan awoke, in 1219 AE, in an event they called the Great Tsunami. At this point, the Tengu of the world saw it as a sign to return to the continent of Tyria. Of course, to do so, they had to make it past Zaitan's risen forces, and it was a descendant of Talon Silverwing who led this charge. When they reached land, they built their dominion, the Dominion of Winds. They decided to build this atop an island once known as Sanctum K. Whether or not there is a reason for this location, we do not know, but it was quite prominent in Guild Wars 1. During this time, they unified their clans into 4 modern houses, 1 for each of the winds, north, south, east and west. It is known that these houses have distinct cultures, although they all uphold 3 basic virtues: honour, family and history. Speaking of history, they apparently have some ancient lost knowledge of the Elder Dragons, or at least an awareness of the cyclic nature of their awakening. Once they had completed their dominion, and due to fearing a repeat of the past, the Tengu constructed a great wall to encircle it, allowing them to live in seclusion and restrict access to the city, denying any non-Tengu access. However, due to the recent destroyer activity inside the Dominion, some of the Tengu have made tentative ventures into establishing contact with the outside world, leading to some, such as Izu Steelshrike, joining the Pact as a weaponsmith. Steelshrike mentions that the death of an Elder Dragon may renew the Tengu interest in joining other races in their fight against the dragons. Unfortunately, this didn't seem to be the case when Scarlet Briar attacked Lion's Arch, as the Tengu stationed at the Shuttered Gate in the western area of Lion's Arch retreated to within its boundaries, and during the battle, any creature that attempted to approach the gate was met with a storm of arrows, regardless of the allegiance. So with Heart of Thorns, we have some new Tengu models that have been data mined. Hopefully this means that this race will have some more exposure in the expansion. The Tengu have also been seen in the new Borderlands and Stronghold maps. I'd love to be able to get into the Dominion of Winds. It's one of those places shrouded in mystery that was, as I stated earlier, built on a prominent Guild Wars 1 location, Sanctum Cave. Anyway, I shall end the video on that, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And until next time, take care and happy gaming.